Hello, welcome back to Trailer Trash. This one was actually told to me by a friend last week when I was not doing Trailer Trash because I had no internet. It's Nosferatu, like the original black and white silent movie Nosferatu. For some reason, it took them till now to actually do a full remake, which is wild. Actually, wasn't it? I want to say there's some legal thing to that. Or was it like Bram Stoker had legal issues with Nosferatu? Anyway, yeah, so they're redoing an old black and white classic. Let's check out the trailer.
Come to me.
Wait, is that Natalie Portman or Keira Knightley? It's probably neither.
Come to me. Hear my call. Come to me. Professor, my dreams grow darker. Does evil come from within us? Or from beyond?
He did it. He's the Nosferatu. That's not how it works. But yeah, fucking Willem Dafoe. Why the hell not? I'm actually surprised he's not the Nosferatu. Or is he? No, No, Nosferatu. I gotta watch the original again because the plot escapes me. That's the fun thing about old black and white silent films, though, is like visually it's very memorable stuff. Like I can remember scenes from Nosferatu, Dr. Caligari. Fucking scenes from that just stick with me for the rest of my life. Even the original black and white Beauty and the Beast. There's just really interesting scenes in that I'll never forget. And you also got other stuff like The General. I can't think of any others, but yeah, that's the interesting thing about it is you can completely forget what the story was, mainly because it's told to you through text, obviously, but visually, that was back when films were 100% a visual medium. That's where you get most of the storytelling from, It's fascinating.
It's coming. It is coming.
I also don't remember all this talk about coming in Nosferatu. That's very strange. It was a different time back then. Wait. It's funny because, yeah, it wasn't Nosferatu, just Bram Stoker's Dracula. So, is this story essentially just Bram Stoker's Dracula? Like, what's the difference? Like, is there a difference? Also, interestingly enough, we had that movie. Oh, man, I forgot the name of it. It was like way back when I started doing Trailer Trashes. The movie that was essentially just that part of the story where Dracula goes from Romania, wherever he's from, to England across the ocean. And he's on a boat, but then when the boat gets there, everybody's dead because he was feeding off of them. There's a whole movie based on just that segment, so it's interesting. We're getting more of the story.
He is coming to us.
See that fucking shot. That I'm sure is something straight out of the original. Like that kind of visual style. Like, it's so good.
Who is coming to my child?
We are here encountering the vampire. Nosferatu.
Now, there's a lot I have to say. First off, though, that idea for the music is pretty cool. You know, music has become very samey in movies. You know, so yeah, for a Nosferatu film, vampire movie, horror film, whatever, you're gonna go with dissonance. But like doubling down on just dissonance like that, that's pretty good. That's ballsy. I love it. But also, I'm sorry, is that supposed to be the Nosferatu? And is that hair I see on this son of a bitch? That is not the Nosferatu. The Nosferatu I know was bald as a something. I don't know. He also had very pointy ears. I mean, I get it. It's an adaptation. Obviously, there's some differences here, like the woman opening up her blouse and the children screaming probably wasn't a thing. But you know, just make Nosferatu bald still. Like that's the icon. That's iconic Nosferatu, bald dude, creepy face. I do like the trailer doesn't show him though. That's a good touch. Though I have my fears that he's just going to be some CG'd bullshit. Yeah, most likely he's going to be CG'd bullshit. But I also like the angle of like madness, you know, especially this whole scene again, lady ripping her blouse, kids screaming. I like the idea that, you know, it's not just a terror haunting a town, but the people themselves are going mad from it in some sort of way. That's what I'm gleaning from it. Probably, you know, it could be anything, but that's what I got from the trailer, and that'd be an interesting take for Dracula. Like the presence of evil is just so strong that everybody just kind of just goes nuts from it, even if he's not involved in it on his own terms. You know, am I getting through to anybody? Let's check out the comments. Wait, what? You know, I'm something of a creature of the night myself. What? Also, I have to comment on one of the replies that says, pay your light bill. It's pretty good. I've waited 102 years for this. What are these people with their amazing jokes in the comments section? I'm not used to that. Willem Dafoe, having played Nosferatu in Shadow of the Vampire, is truly having his cake and eating it. Okay. I thought it seemed way too obvious that Willem Dafoe should be Nosferatu. I forgot about that being a thing at all. Yeah, totally. Which is funny because in Poor Things, he is essentially Victor von Frankenstein too. So just bringing back the Hammer horror classics with Willem Dafoe as all the key players. Wait, Doctor? She called him Doctor in the trailer. Is he Van Helsing? Is that what they mean by having his cake and eating it too? Is he also Van Helsing in this? Weird. I prefer. Was it I almost said Bob Hoskins. Anthony Hopkins? Is he the one in Bram Stoker's Dracula? I won't say it was Anthony Hopkins. It doesn't matter. And again, check in the replies. Next up, he'll play Peter Parker. Man, his comments are on fire today. Okay, Joe Capo has the fun fact for us. The original was based on Dracula, but all the names were changed because they didn't have a copyright permission. And the creators of Nosferatu went out of business and ordered all copies to be destroyed, but it survived nonetheless, and the original is now public domain. Wait, so you're telling me the movie about a vampire is itself undead? Or, I don't know, I was going somewhere with that. I can't tell you how many years I've been waiting for this, an adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula that actually managed to capture the full repertoire of captivating nightmare scenes in the book. I saw so many snippets of moments that I recognized from the novel that I had been wishing to see on screen one day. The empty coffins of Earth, the staking of the Bloofer Lady, the swarms of vermin. This promises to be everything I've been waiting for. Yeah, so Nosferatu, from the last couple of comments, was just an adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula. which is interesting that this one is just Nosferatu and not just a remake of Bram Stoker's Dracula, even though technically Nosferatu and Bram Stoker's Dracula, like Bram Stoker's was that movie. Was that Coppola? Coppola's movie was a remake of Nosferatu, even though Nosferatu was just an adaptation of the book that Coppola's movie was taking straight from. And now this is just called Nosferatu based on the original movie, even though it's actually based on the book. Weird. Yeah, why not just call it Dracula? I mean, I guess there's many reasons why you wouldn't just call it Dracula. Nosferatu makes a lot more sense, especially since there's probably a lot more homage to the original black and white film. Maybe. Thank you! Exclamation points for not showing Nosferatu's face in the trailer. This is how trailers used to be when they did not want to intentionally spoil the surprises before the film comes out. ... I don't know. I've seen plenty of trailers that didn't spoil the movie for me. But I mean, with a case like this, yeah, it's handled really well if you're not actually showing the monster. Though again, that makes me skeptical whether or not the monster actually looks good at all. That's like the one point where this movie can fail miserably, is having just the shittest Nosferatu you've ever seen in your life. So if anything, it's a bad thing they didn't show Nosferatu, because I have no faith in them pulling it off the right way. I need you to compose me a musical score that is essentially a non-stop scare chord. Yes, exactly. That's cool. As far as I know, hasn't been done before, or at least hasn't been made popular in horror. So, bravo for that. I'm curious to see how that goes. Actually, you know what? Also, whatever happened to organs? You know, I like, especially with a movie like this, you'd think organ music would really be good, right? And I'm not just talking toccata and fugue, like the non-Dracula Dracula music. Why do people associate that music with Dracula anyway? Never understood that. Anyway, some good organ is creepy and atmospheric and gothic, you know? But you don't really get that a lot anymore. Organs are cool. I want to see more of them. I want to hear more organs. So that was Nosferatu, the remake. I'm actually kind of excited for it. Originally, I would just be like, oh, they're, Hollywood's at it again. Nothing original. They're remaking a movie that absolutely does not need to be remade. But I don't know. It seems fun. It seems like something that you could still milk some different perspectives and atmosphere out of, and it looks like that's what they're doing with this. Obviously, there's only so much you could do with a black and white silent film, but I think for what that is, it tells the story well. It's still a really good movie. It's like, not just because it's a classic, but it's just a very solid film. But and sometimes you can still do something else with it and not improve upon it, but expand upon ideas from it. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that's what they're doing here. So, neat.